Oh my gosh. Sorry, there we go. I'm fixing my thing. Hello, and welcome to the Spiritual Warrior YouTube Live. We are now switching the time. We were going on at 8 a.m. Pacific every morning. No, excuse me, every Tuesday morning. And it just turned out to be really tough with my daughter going to school and everything. So this is going to be our new weekly time, 11 a.m. Pacific here on the YouTube, the Spiritual Warrior YouTube channel. So welcome. So I'm going to dive right into this content today. And what we're going to be talking about is screen addiction. And I was thinking about what I was going to say before I came on here and like just a general outline. And I want to share with you without sounding like I'm lecturing you, because here's the thing. I am just as addicted as anyone else to their screen. And so what I want to go ahead and give like some support and some insight on our relationship to screens. The humans today, and in the way we are all living in the world today, we all have a relationship to screens. I don't know one person who does not have a cell phone, not one person. And I'm going to back up a little bit. The introduction of the TV, I believe it was in the 1950s, into the home. The TV into the home was the beginning of human beings shifting in a lot of levels and in a lot of ways. And way we shifted was the way we bonded with our family, the way our brains have functioned, such as fantasy and going into other ways. And then to add a little bit more to that is distraction and the way that we have been programmed. Because pre-screens, pre-TV, pre-entertainment in that way, we were not absorbing content into our minds and into our brains that didn't belong to us. I mean, in that way, in that 2D way. And if you really think about the word program, a program on a television, the channel of the television, they're telling you right there exactly what's going on. They're programming your mind, and they're allowing you to basically channel the information that they're programming to you. So they're very, like, while media is covert, it's very overt at the same time. And the beginning of the TV, if you follow it, it's created more depression, it created more anxiety, it created more fear in people, and created more of distraction. Then we go to when we added in the introduction of the cell phone. The introduction of the cell phone. So I listened a lot to the Palladians, they channel, and they call it the deadly device. They call the cell phone the deadly device. Now, the cell phone is both, to me, it's both. There's both pros with it and cons with it, like there is with any kind of technology. AI, I personally am not aligned with it, but there's going to be pros to AI and there's going to be a lot of cons to AI. So where we are with screens is both pros and cons. It connects us to people all over the world. We can be connected. We can use maps and track and all of the things that we can do. And then the con is many people are addicted to the screens, including myself. It has become a habit for me in a way where I just pick it up and check out. And then I catch myself zoning out on social media or going into some sort of like vortex where I have to completely pull myself out and not go get sucked in. If you go into a line, if you start to observe and really notice when people are standing in line somewhere, 80% of the people, I'm making an estimate, are on their phone with their heads down, and we're not connecting. And I did a meditation recently because the energy right now in the collective has been fairly thick and fairly dense. And what I noticed and what my guides were showing me was that there's something going on with the cell phone. Something's being activated, something's being more turned up, where people are being more sucked into the energy of the cell phone. And a lot of it is mind programming. It's programming of your mind. You go on Facebook, you go on Instagram, you go to the news, you go to these things, and you're reading someone else's input. You're reading someone else's inspiration. You're reading someone else's fears. You're reading someone else's opinion, and it all gets in there. So here is the question. Here is the big question. What do we do with all of this? How do we be in right relationship with the screens that are not going away? And as a parent, it's really challenging because I I try really hard to monitor my daughter's screen intake, and the older she gets, the more I'm losing control over it. Whereas, when we don't own a TV, so I could monitor that. I could tell her when she was little, you can watch this show or not this show. You get 30 minutes a day, or you get 30 minutes a week, or you can only watch on Saturdays. And it's not like that anymore. It's not like that anymore. And all I can do is monitor what she has access to on her phone, such as we have a lot of like these sites blocked on her phone. That's all I can do. I can, or take it away. I give her parameters and things like that. But the kids are up against so much. The teachers have to battle the phones every single day of school. The kids sneaking the phones, taking the phones, cheating on the phones. There's so much we're up against with this device. And we all love it. We all look at it. We all want to be a part of it. But at the same time, it is eroding connection, and is eroding connection to ourselves, and it is eroding connection to other people. It definitely has that potential. And most of my friends and clients who are married, most, not all, but most, complain about their husbands in particular because of being on screens. They feel like they're losing connection to their husband, that the screen is winning. The video game is winning. The phone is winning. Fantasy football is winning. And there is an energy that when we're in the cell phone, we are not connected. We are not connected. In fact, there is a absolute glaze over that can happen. So here's the question, and I don't even know the answer, but the question is, what is the way to be in right relationship with your phone? What is your phone maintenance? Do you put your phone away at night? Do you put it in another room at night? Do you have devices on your phone? I can show you. I think I left my phone in the other room. There are these things called shungite crystals, stones that you can get stickers, and they stick to the back of your phone, and they will help with the EMF, and they will help with protecting you against that. So what is your cell phone at night? How do you be in relationship with your cell phone at night? Do you sleep with earbuds? Do you allow all of that programming to come in when you're sleeping? I have definitely been guilty of that and fallen asleep with the cell phone and the buds in my ears. And guess what? I don't feel that great the next day at all. In fact, it takes me, my dreams are weirder. It takes me a longer time to wake up. I'm less alert and less focused. Do you keep your cell phone with you at all times? Do you, when you're standing in line or you have a free time, do you take out your phone and look at it? Does your family sit down and have dinner together without screens? How often are you Like these are questions that you can begin to ask yourself to begin really just being aware of how connected you are to the phone. And the introduction to the phone has, like I said, it has a nefarious energy to it, absolutely, for sure, because if we are connected to the phone, we are not connected to each other. If we are connected to the phone, we're connected to information that's outside of ourselves. There is definitely an agenda with the phone and with the cell phones and with all the AI and all the tech and all the things that are coming down the pike. And humans have a really amazing way of shifting things so that we use it to actually get information to support and rally and come together. So there's definitely those both sides. Both sides. But if you find yourself, the more you look at screens, and I'm speaking for myself, I'm speaking for clients and the things that I've witnessed, your energy will get lower. The more we're in it, the lower our energy is. The lower we think for ourselves. Our attention span becomes quicker and quicker and quicker. It gets less and less and less. And as spiritual beings, as beings connected to God, because we have these devices that have been literally handed to us. The cell phone companies make bazillions, quadrillions of dollars. Like, it's a huge money maker, and it is, if not used correctly, a device of disempowerment. It's a device where kids are watching porn and things like that. I mean, it's intense. It's intense to navigate all of that's out there. However, we can be in right relationship with it, and we can have choices. And as spiritual beings, making sure that we are spending time in nature, that we are disconnecting from our devices, that we're not sleeping with the devices next to our heads, that we put it over on the other side, out of the room, that we spend time at the dinner table connecting with people, that we look people in the eye. Because, as I said, as these like virtual realities and AIs and things like that, it's going to get more intense. And I'm sure you've heard of the word transhumanism. It's absolutely part of the agenda, is to create us like becoming like Matrix style, one with the machine. Why? Because then we lose our connection to our spirituality. We can lose our connection to God. And why would that matter? Why would that matter? Because we're easier to control that way. So we have choice. We have choice on whether we pick it up. We have choice of when we turn it off, and we have choice on how much we want to interact with it. And if you are with a spouse or a partner who you feel really frustrated with because they're always on their phone or their device, finding time to really talk to them where they're not going to get defensive around their use of the screens, and have a real conversation, because people get very defended. I mean, my husband and I went through it, and he would get very defended. And, well, you do it too. And it's so true, right? It's so true. So coming up to, maybe they're as partners or friendships or people you're living with, coming up with times where you have the phone off so that you can connect, like truly, truly connect. And definitely when you're in prayer, and definitely when you're in nature, there's a lot of time. So we do have power, but here's what I'd like to leave you with. It's going to start ramping up. As I've mentioned, a lot more tech, a lot more of these opportunities to distract. And we are in a fight, so to speak, of staying connected to our essence, our light, our power, and taking time out of your day to detox from your phone and connect inward to yourself with spirit and with God. All right. All right. So I will be back on here at 11 a.m. Pacific, and I will. Oh, I'll talk about this. I want to say it does bring in apathy. Too much phone use can bring in this definite energy of apathy because we're consuming so much. So definitely take time to detox. All right. My name is Beth Osmer, and I will see you next week at 11 a.m. here. All right. Take care.